haven't figured out how to do videoing with this tablet. It's too big. I haven't figured out how to mount it where I can get some use out of it. But I wanted to show you what it's like. So this is more of a test here. I know it's bouncing around. I can't keep it from bouncing. And anyway, this is I don't know if you can even see where we're at, but we're on our way. We've had some problems, but we're able to get through them so far, and hopefully we can get through them and I can deal with it once we get to Guatemala. But anyway, just seeing what we can do here. Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. We are somewhere between Mexico City and Veracruz, Mexico. It's overcast, get a little bit of rain, high humidity, and it's a little hot. Last night I stayed in a place with no air conditioning, and it rained early in the evening. That kind of cooled things down, but it didn't really cool down the room a lot. I had a fan, ceiling fan, and so it was a little warm. It was a good room. I paid 270 pesos for the night, and it had Wi-Fi. So I had something going on there, and now I'm going to try something a little different. Normally I go to a place called Tuxtla, and then from Tuxtla, then I figure out what I want to do. According to the GPS, right now it's 9:15 in the morning. I should be able to get there, or get pretty close to the border before dark. So I'm going to be spending the night in a place that I don't normally spend the night. A lot of the roads are roads I've been on before. Some of the roads are going to be kind of new. So I'm just going to have to play it by ear. I'm getting faster and faster making the trip. Normally, I take the trip and from Tulsa to where I live in Guatemala, it normally takes me about 8 days. I spend a couple days with friends. So now this trip, I've been avoiding the friends. I've still got transmission problems, but I know what it is, and I work on it as I go. Normally every day it's got a leak, an oil leak. So every day I gotta get a mechanic to fill me back up with oil. Right now I'm kind of taking it easy. I'm doing about 60, a little over 60. Whoa. Normally I'll do about 70. Just kind of hoping that it kind of helps the the oil situation in the transmission. And oh, here, let me show you. Let me show you what it is. A little bit, anyway. I don't know how much is going to show up on there. I don't know if you can see it. A little drawing right there. And there's a transmission, and that little piece below it is like a transfer case for one axle is on a little transfer case, and the main transmission goes to the other axle. Now, Toyota's changed its transmissions now, but this is a 95. I don't know when they changed it, but I think it was like maybe 5 years they used this, but I don't know for sure. And but that little transmission part, the seal is broke out and it's throwing oil out. So I can get the seal fixed. In the States, everything is a big deal in the States. They do liability, they have liability insurance, they got all the workman's comp, they got all kinds of crap. It's difficult to do business in the United States, and it gets worse all the time. And with all the regulations, rules, and I mean, it's really a pain in the butt. And that's when I say I've been in business all my life, and I can tell the steps, it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. But down here, like I say, I just need it fixed. I don't need a certified mechanic. I don't need liability insurance. Just fix the dumb thing. It's not that hard to fix things. In the old days, that's, as a father, that's what one of the responsibilities were, to teach your son how to do mechanicking. And now they've even made the cars more difficult to work on. So then now a lot of the fathers don't know how to work on cars. I say, for me in the 80s, when I was in the oil business, I used to, through the night, I would, do all kinds of work on the vehicles. Now I'd drop the transmission, send the transmission to the transmission shop, but I say I could fix the heads, I could do a lot of stuff on the motor. And nowadays, like I say, the motors are so complicated that it's hard to do it. But the good thing is they're complicated, all right, but they work really good. And back in my days, trying to get $100,000 out, or 100,000 miles out of an engine was just about impossible. Or out of a car, 100,000 miles out of a car was pretty rare. Now, like I say, I got 300,000 miles, and taking a 3,500 mile trip. So, it's cars have changed a lot, and I say they have gotten a little more complicated. But I say now I've been learning more and more. I've been staying away from cars when they started complicating them. But now with this, I've been learning more, and the reason is like I say, I got a lot of Mexicans and Guatemalan mechanics, and they're good mechanics, but they don't always know the engine that they're working on. And but I say there's the mechanic part of the motor, or the operational part of the car itself, and there's the understanding how it works and all that stuff. You can either, if you understand it, then you can just turn to somebody and say, hey, do this and do that, and then it's going to be done. But if you don't understand it, it's not always easy to find out what the problems are. And just like this, on that little part, the back part on that transmission, everybody wants to put transmission fluid in there, and you don't. You use gear lube. You know, a 90 weight gear lube is what you put in there. And in the United States, nobody would do it. The only one that I found that would do it was the transmission shop, and they knew that that's what goes in it. So I had no problems with that. But nobody else would do it because they didn't know. And since I'm not a certified mechanic, they wouldn't do it just because I told them to do it. And why? Because they were worried about liability. If they put the wrong oil in that thing, they would be liable. In my world, you work for me. I'm paying you your contract labor, and you do what I tell you. But they wouldn't do it. And that's why, and the same thing goes in the in medicine. You go to a doctor, what I do, when I go to a doctor, I go to several doctors if I need a doctor to get their opinion. Kind of like a mechanic. I've done several mechanics to find out what my problem is, or to find out about the transmission. And it took me forever to find out the leak was there. And but anyway, a doctor, you want to know what it is, and then you want his opinion, and you think about it, and you make the decision what you want done. And then I tell the doctor, this is what I want done. And then he, like I say, I've had shrapnel taken out of my back. I had a double hernia, and things, but I didn't have anything done until I knew exactly what the problem was. I'm not just going to go in there and just, lay on the table and tell them, take out your knife and do what you got to do to fix me. I mean, I want to know what's going on. I want to know that they're going to fix me and what exactly they're going to be doing. And like I say, so I treat my mechanics just like my doctors. My doctors is like the mechanic. I don't trust none of them. So I got to know exactly what's going on. So anyway, that's what happens when you take personal responsibility. I don't care the doctor is going to cut me and it turns out he took the wrong thing out or he cut me wrong and stuff like that. The doctor's not going to worry about it. He's got insurance. He's got liability insurance. And mechanics, if they do a bad job, either I'm going to lose control of the car and wreck, so they're worried about liability, or in my world, I'll take the chances. And so really what I'm concerned about is the car breaking down out here. Now see, we're out here in lowlands of Mexico. Normally this would be considered tropical jungle, but like I say, they've cleared it all out. I say they're growing things, they're raising cattle and stuff like that, so it's just not a big old jungle anymore. So, but anyway, just letting you know what's going on and what I've learned so far on this trip. Oh, and fixing it, putting the oil. I haven't put the oil in it. I've been charged between 50 and 100 pesos. I don't know what that is, but that's 17 to 1. And like I say, that gearbox, they got to get up underneath the car and do the stuff. It's not that hard. I can do it. I'd rather go on and pay and have it done instead of getting all dirty and having to crawl underneath the car and this type of stuff. So, but anyway, I just wanted to let you get caught up on what I've been learning and see how things been going. This Mike, NoStressMike.com.